Good morning and welcome to the SVT Performance YouTube channel. I'm Sid and this is a Big Bend Bronco loaded up with a Sasquatch package. I've been driving this thing around for a little bit and I know you guys have seen a lot of Broncos on the channel. I do enjoy this one. I always like one with the Sasquatch package. I think it looks great. This one's sort of a little bit more weirdly optioned. No running boards on it. I don't know if they were taken off by one of the previous press guys that were messing around with it, because there's signs that this thing has been off-road as it should be. Unfortunately, I do not have time today to really go anywhere, and I don't think it's going to fit back in there. So what I want to talk about though is something that I see come up pretty often when discussing what options you should get on a new big Bronco. And the biggest one always seems to be powertrain. Now, my personal opinion, I love the manual transmission, and if the only way to get that's the 4-cylinder, that's the way I'll go because I like driving a manual. This one is not a manual, and unfortunately I haven't got to spend very much time at all with a manual transmission Bronco. But this one is the 2.3 EcoBoost, which we have had in previous Broncos that we've tested. Just to give you guys a little idea of what this one's like inside. It does have sort of my favorite color scheme, which is the very muted blacks and grays with the gray dash, silver trim. You know, it's a very subdued interior, and I really like that. Of course, hard top and everything you've come to expect on one of your little higher end, nicer ones. Even though this is a Big Bend, it's not the completely loaded model. It is still nicely equipped, and it is how I would have ordered it, which is vinyl floor and manual seats. I like that. But under the hood, she has the 2.3 liter instead of the 2.7. I know a ton of guys prefer that 2.7 liter V6. And honestly, if you're getting an automatic, I would get the V6 too, because, you know, if you can have more power, why not? But, you know, a lot of guys are not ordering these things brand new from the factory. You're picking up a used one, or you're just picking up whatever is on the lot. So, you know, your options may be limited to what's available. So, should you hold out for a V6 if you find something that, you know, fits the bill, but it's got the 4-cylinder? Is that acceptable to go for it? And I'm here to tell you, I think it is. I've enjoyed driving these. I have had that 2.3 liter in a couple different vehicles. And you know what? The best way to really talk about this is to get out on the road and let you guys hear the engine running, do a little bit of driving, things like that. I don't think I'm going to take it out on the river today, but we do have a nice little drive out through the country. So let's get on the road, give it a little spin. So out on the road, you get some decent induction noise from the engine, and that's one of my questions with this 2.3 liter. I haven't noticed it nearly as much in the V6s that I've driven, especially not the Raptor. Let's just take Raptor off the table for right now. But with this particular 2.3, I get some induction noise, and I keep wondering, is this being piped in or am I actually hearing it? Because if it's being piped in, Ford did a really good job on locating it exactly where I would expect it to be coming from. The airbox is over in that passenger side corner, and that's where I hear the induction noise from on this thing. And that, to me, anytime you can get induction noise, especially on a turbocharged vehicle, that just adds to the driving experience, and it makes you forget if something's underpowered. Not that this engine is. So speaking of power, 2.3 liter, you're looking at 300 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque, and those are sort of numbers we used to see from a 3-valve 5.4 liter V8. So we're not talking about an underpowered engine by any means. And you step up to the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost, and you're talking 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. So only 30 more horsepower. So you're thinking, oh, that's not a huge difference, but you're also talking almost 100 pound-feet of torque. That's where the big difference is between the V6 and the 4-cylinder. That being said, you get the same transmission. It's not like we're talking about, you know, 20 years ago when you're talking about the difference between one engine gets a 4-speed and the other one gets a 5-speed. These are both running the 10R60, so you're not really missing anything there, and you're also getting I don't know if you guys saw that, but that power pole was smoking. So that's not great when your electrical lines are on fire. Not a great sign. Anyways, you're not missing out on the transmission. You got 10R60. You get the same gears choices. So this one's Sasquatch, so you got the 470 gears. But the question is, does it feel powerful on the road? And the answer to that to me is, yeah, it feels pretty good. Granted, it is a 2.5 ton brick of an SUV, which is great. The thing drives exactly like I want it to. But coming from SUVs didn't used to have power like this. I mean, driving around, I remember I had a 96 Explorer at one point with an overhead valve 4.0, and that thing had 160 horsepower and a 4-speed automatic, and it was gutless. But this is, you're talking nearly double the power. This thing is light years ahead of it. So step on a little bit, get that induction noise. You don't really hear much turbo, which is surprising. I mean, the turbo is small on this 2.3 liter, but the thing gets up and goes. It moves out of its own way. You don't feel like you're just going to get stuck in traffic or anything. This one does not have a tow package on it. And honestly, if you were towing, you probably wouldn't want to go much more than 2,500-ish pounds with the 2.3. V6, you can bump that up some more. But I would not, if I found a Bronco that I really wanted and it just didn't have the V6, that wouldn't stop me from buying it. The powertrain in this thing, I think, is perfectly fine. It gets decent mileage. You're in the 20s if you're just cruising around. And there's always aftermarket options. That's what I always tell people on this. I had one of the first 2.3 liter EcoBoost powered Fords, a 2015 Mustang, when it first came out, because I just wanted to see what it's capable of. And I love that little car. And with Livernois Motorsports, we had it tuned, had full turbo back exhaust and everything on it. That car made, I think it was 400 horsepower. I know it made 440 pound-feet of torque to the wheels out of a 2.3 liter, which was insane. That it didn't sound the greatest in the world. It sounded sort of like a tractor, but it did run good. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it there. So you have that option with these. Livernois has custom tuning for the 2.3. They also, there's intercoolers, there's intakes, there's tons of parts that are available if you want more power. So you can get there, that's for sure. Especially with tuning now available. SCT has custom tuning available through tons of SCT dealers. So you can pick up a surprising amount of power. Ford definitely does not give you all that these things are capable of from the factory. So would I buy one? Yes. Would I feel bad that I only have the 4-cylinder and not the 2.7 liter? No, I would not. Personally, I love my Raptor with the 3-liter V6. I think that is one of the best engines Ford's making right now, is that 3-liter EcoBoost, because we're making over 500 horsepower to the wheels now with that, with HP tuners and a 5-star tuning, custom tune. And we've got more to come on that one. Don't worry, we're going for even more power, and we'll be taking it to the track again. And because I'm crazy, that's what I enjoy doing, is drag racing my Bronco Raptor. That's fun. But I am going to get to spend a lot more time with a 2.3 liter Bronco in the very near future, because it looks like we'll be picking up one with the manual transmission, because that's what I wanted. I want a manual in a Bronco in case they ever go away. I want to say I own one, because I just love that idea of the 7-speed manual in an SUV. There's just it gives old school vibes, and I just love that. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave you on this one. I like the 2.3 liter. I would buy one. I am buying one. But even if it was it versus the V6, I knew I was getting an automatic. The 4-cylinder is fine. You're not going to be missing out on anything. This particular Bronco has been great. I've really enjoyed it. I think the hot pepper red color is really nice, and I look forward to spending some more time in a manual. So if you guys are interested in that and seeing what we do with that, because it's going to get some some aftermarket goodies, let's just put it that way. You know, we're not going to leave anything stock, and we'll be out wheeling with it some and everything. So if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel, and also head over to our other YouTube channel that we've started, Ford Powered, because you're probably seeing more of that Bronco on that channel, because we're going to sort of, it's not really performance oriented build, it's more of a general overall Ford build. So that's what we're covering over on the Ford Powered channel. It's literally everything that is Ford powered. I'm talking like water pumps and excavators and things. It's crazy. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll put the link in the description below. And as always, head over to svtperformance.com. That's where we have all the information and everything on this particular vehicle, all our write-ups, reviews, photos. It's a great community. We've got 200,000 members. You'll get a lot of information from those guys over there. They are very smart, know what they're doing, and we have cool merch. That way you can support the channel if you're interested, and support svtperformance.com. But the big thing is, I really appreciate you guys watching this video this long. It means the world to me. See you here next time.